you live life, right? You're born, you live life, and you die. Okay. When you're born, there's so many other people that are also born. And we are currently standing at around 7 to 8 billion people in this world. And so it's hard to believe, oh, I'm unique. Because there's probably 56 to 100 other people exactly like me out there who have the same mindset, same motivation, same height, same weight, whatever, right? There's a possibility of that. But how many of these people are you going to actually meet within your lifetime? Are you going to find somebody who looks exactly like me within your lifetime? You probably meet us as individuals. I don't know what the actual number is, but I want to say a rough estimate of we meet maybe 100,000 people within our lifetime, right? Maybe not.
Depends if you travel and all that stuff.
Travel, the number could raise, but within your lifetime, you're not going to meet another individual like me. The same way that you're a very unique person, because I will never find anybody else like you within my lifetime, within the vicinity of who I hang out with.
Yeah.
So it's like, when you take that into consideration, who do you want to be in other people's eyes? And again, you don't have to care about what other people think, but you kind of also have to. It's like a balance between the two. Very contradicting. Do you want to be the person that's viewed as a drag, someone who's not, approachable, or do you want to put in the extra effort to wake up every morning and know that, this could be the day that somebody deals with something very significant in their life, and you could be that one individual that brightens that person's day? Because every single day, people have such a wicked and dark view of the world.
Yeah.
And if you're that one person that comes up and does something irrelevant, you can definitely shift an entire mentality of a person. And so that's how you're unique. Simply because nobody else will meet someone exactly like you within their lifetime. So what type of impression are you going to leave? What's up, Brian? How you been, brother?
Pretty good.
That's some weak stuff,
I
man.
know.
I'm over here giving you all this energy. I gotta edit that out. Good job.
Frick yeah! I've been to the best of. Yes, I'm checking my phone.
All right, so
I'll put it off to the side.
Getting this podcast was definitely another challenge, just like any other, just like the last one. Hope that there's not that many issues when it comes to uploading it. But it's nice having you back, because it was a rough day.
Yeah. We spent 2 hours setting up. It feels like 2 hours.
Somewhat 2 hours, because we're trying to fix the audio. Because last time the audio was definitely. It wasn't to our expectations.
It was jank.
It's janky. It was bootlegged.
Yeah.
We had styrofoam cups attached here and there. No, I'm just kidding.
No, it wasn't the cup in the string.
You know what's crazy? The idea of technology taking over. What do you think technology is going to be looking like in 10, 20 years?
We're going to have... Well, I'm not sure, because we're getting to the point where it's just been so exponential.
Yeah.
That the upgrades that we see now are kind of minor compared to back then. Because we're hitting that law. I forgot what that law is. Where we can't get the transistors small enough.
So I know exactly what you're talking about. So it's this concept. It's with the semiconductors, right? And so the semiconductors within a chip. And so what a semiconductor pretty much is, let's see if I can explain it to the best of my ability. Maybe you can pitch off of it. It's pretty much a piece that's a part of technology that allows for it to process as much information as possible. So the same way that a calculator views whether 2 plus 2 equals 4, and that's true. That's like factual. So then when it comes to it saying 2 plus 2 equals 5, that's false. But it registers as information. And so it's like when you have a light that's on and off, that's a 1 and a 0. One's true, one's false. And then sometimes you have ors and ands, right? And so what they're noticing is that there's only so many ones and zeros you could put on a section, or that's a part of the semiconductor. So it's like they're trying to condense these zeros and ones into smaller and smaller chips. And what makes it interesting is that they got creative at one point where it was simply as simple as just turning the information sideways, which like revolutionized it because it allowed for 2 times more exponential growth.
Yeah, but then we kind of hit a little bit of a stop with that too.
We literally hit a physical wall because we couldn't physically put more information on a single chip because we reached that wall.
And I think we can't make it smaller because I think if we go any smaller, I'm not sure, but I think electrons kind of jump when they're not supposed to.
Yeah.
So we have issues with that, but I'm not too sure.
No, I think that's in the ballpark when it comes to just us.
Well, I'm not sure if it's like the electron.
Yeah.
That's doing that.
Because I mean, it's all we're not scientists.
Yeah.
But I remember doing research because I was looking into a company called Oracle, and that's pretty much what they do. Is they're semiconductor makers, and with technology, it's crazy, because what you referenced earlier was. We're noticing these technological advancements, but they're so micro. And so when you consider something like, 720p with cameras, and we jump from 1080p, and then we go to 4K, or is there anything in between?
It's 1080p. There's 1440p.
1440p, and then there's 2K, and then there's 4K.
And then now there's 8K.
Now there's 8K. I think the best way to summarize it is storage, like the USB drives. Like what a USB drive is now is insane in comparison to what we had in the past.
Yeah, and then recently, we have gotten 1 terabyte SD cards, and that was and that wasn't. It's kind of crazy because that's pretty new. So, 1 terabyte on like a drive that's the size of your fingernail.
Go ahead and keep talking. Yeah.
But yeah, the size of a fingernail, and you have I think it's 1,200 gigabytes of storage.
1,200 gigabytes?
Yeah, because but it's more than 1,000, but not. I think it's 1,200. The way that the storages work is weird.
It's interesting because, what you're saying, like how small and condensed information has gone into, and what that's allowed us as humans to work with.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm not sure what the year was. But it was like, I want to say roughly 50 years ago, where they had like a megabyte was this machine. No, 56 megabytes. That was the machine was the size of a room. And so when you have a room like the one we're in now, which is like 10 by 12, and then 8 feet high, there's a machine that was only able to process 56 megabytes worth of information. And so now you have these thumb drives that are worth 126 gigabytes. 56? No.
It's
112 gigabytes. Right?
No. I think you're thinking about 128.
128?
Yeah, so it goes 8, 16, 36,
8 gigabytes, 16
64,
gigabytes.
128. 256. Yeah, 512.
And then when you can't condense it anymore, you just go straight into collapsing those all on its own, and then you get something like a petabyte. No, a terabyte.
Yeah, petabyte is a lot.
And then you get a petabyte. And it's like when you start seeing this growth, it's kind of like watching. It's like watching the stock market. When you see technological growth, it pretty much doubles every year. And so when it doubles on itself and continuously doubles, you get like this curved line. At the very beginning, it's straight, and then it starts curving, and then it just goes linear, just like straight up. And that's where we're at with technology. And what they're trying to figure out is this hypothetical component, this hypothetical of a semiconductor being more condensed than what we have now, which could create a supercomputer.
Yeah, and then Intel needs to get...
In the what?
Intel needs to get on the works with their processors and put them into 7 nanometer architecture, because they're still on 14, and they've been on 14 for a while.
And we sound kind of nerdy, but what's the benefits of doing this? It's like, imagine being able to have a petabyte on your phone. The capabilities that you would have are insane. You would pretty much be able to run any computer program on your phone with a petabyte of information if you have the proper RAM, right?
Well, if you have the proper specs to run it
and proper like components to even be able to operate something like that.
So like you're gonna have a bunch of storage, right? So like let's say a terabyte, right? Because a petabyte is a lot. You can still go through it, but if you have low specs for that machine, sometimes it won't even support a terabyte sometimes.
Well, okay.
Or it will, but I'm not really sure, because it works with RAM as well. So if you have like 64 gigs, right? So some computers can use 64 gigs of RAM.
Yeah.
Some cannot go up to 128. I think their cap is like 64. So then you have to buy more expensive like CPUs to actually get more RAM support. So having a bunch of storage sometimes it's also kind of a waste in a way.
It's like having a super powerful engine, like in the Raptor.
Yeah.
Like in a Raptor is a type of truck that pretty much uses a V12 engine.
No, V6.
No, a V6 engine.
That's a twin turbo V6.
But then they tried to put a V12 into it and it didn't work. Or you could try. No. Anyways, doesn't matter. Irrelevant. What I'm trying to get to is, at one point, will technology start becoming more dangerous because of how much we're advancing? When you start having...
Well, it's already dangerous. There's already like cybersecurity and hackers. You just gotta protect yourself.
And then so this brings up like the question of, you brought up hackers and whatnot, and the whole reason why TikTok was banned recently.
Was it banned? I think it came into an agreement.
Oh, they came into an agreement?
Yeah.
With Oracle or Microsoft?
No, Oracle.
Oracle, yeah. Oracle is crazy. Their CEO, he's like a competitive person. Like, he strives to be the best. He's a very cocky individual. There's this person who interviewed him, and then the person who was looking for more information for him came up with somebody who used to work with him. And the guy was like, yeah, I can literally hear him down the hallway saying that I'm the best worker here. And that's like, that's a little cocky. You know, you gotta bring that back. But then he ended up becoming a CEO of a company. So it's like, it's not a very humbling story, but definitely something to, like, you know, pick some important things from there. Like, you have to have confidence. You have to have that energy. You have to have that belief within yourself. But do it without the discretion of other people. Like, throwing people under the bus, kind of.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. But you would want to be the very best, right?
Of course.
You'd want to be the CEO. Sometimes you have to keep an eye on your back as well. And just keep an eye on yourself.
But I think it's like, to that extent, you have to be careful because you want to maintain those relationships. And so, like, we had a teacher back in high school. I want to say her name, but she was an older woman, and she was very interactive with us. And I asked her, like, what do you think is the most important thing in life? before we pass away. And she said, I think the main two are to stay happy and to keep relationships. Bad interpretation. I could probably try harder, but then it's just going to be disrespectful. She was a very nice teacher. And I really took that to heart. That's like, I remember that conversation. It's fairly vague, but I can like pinpoint like the whole concept. And so the whole idea of maintaining relationships, it's significantly important. I am not the best at it, but I've definitely changed from where I've started. You know, what do you think? What do you think are some of the advantages of keeping that mentality, like relationships, and unless you have like a different perspective?
No, I think that's pretty good, because then, like, let's say if in the future you don't want to be by yourself, right? You don't want to be alone. Mm-hmm. So you'd kind of have to like have your group of friends, and then you have your close family, right? If you don't,
you maybe want to be a little careful touching it because the mics are sensitive.
Yeah,
I don't know.
But now I got distracted.
No, I'm sorry. I don't audio. You know, you were saying something along the lines of the advantages.
Yeah. But you would also want to focus on yourself, so you kind of have to. You kind of have to like balance those two worlds: your professional life and your family life. So, but you also want to prioritize your family life as well, because like, what's the point of working hard and then you just go home and then you do nothing, because then you have no one to talk to, right? And then you won't have good relationships. But some people don't like that lifestyle either, right? They like kind of being by themselves and just making money, or being an entrepreneur, right? And
yeah.
Because if you're going to be an entrepreneur, you kind of don't have a family life.
Yeah. It's like not kind of just sacrificing small things like having a social life. That's definitely something pretty overt when it comes to wanting to work hard, wanting to strive for something that's more. You know, it's like the same way that you start any commitment. There's sacrifices left and right. Like today, we definitely went through some decision making. So we were planning to get a camera today, but we figured when we walked into the store, what's important, getting the camera now or waiting to get one that's of quality. Sometimes you have to make those decisions. We sacrificed getting a camera now for something better tomorrow.
But I kind of had to tell you not to get that camera, because...
And that's the first thing I said when we walked in. I was like, if we don't find what we want, we'll just wait for another day.
Yeah. And I had to convince you out of that camera because it was not the right one.
If I'm being honest, I was like, probably not. It was a GoPro. Yeah.
I mean, it could have been...
You brought up some very valid points, though.
Yeah.
That was good stuff. Good stuff. It's got us some money.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad we didn't get that GoPro, though.
Yeah. I wasn't actually considering it.
We could probably get one in the future, but...
A better camera?
Well, no, like, just have a GoPro on, like, another alpha angle somewhere.
Oh, yeah. Well, like, the way that Joe Rogan does the different sides. Yeah. So, getting back to the idea of, like, what's important in relationships and entrepreneur, it's definitely... You have to make that decision. Mm-hmm. Because when you have that want of becoming an entrepreneur, it's just like starting a business.
Yeah.
How much are you going to invest in yourself? How much are you willing to put in? And it starts going down this path of like, is what you're doing worth the time and effort? And it becomes so hard until you start seeing like the small benefits here and there. So if we're to touch on life again, right? On like what we value.
Mm.
I think something that's important is definitely maintaining relationships.
Yeah.
Because there's this aspect of like, you are a unique individual. And you know how you're told like, oh, you're a snowflake, you're unique, and it's like, yeah, we hear that every day. I think I can have a reasoning behind why that's legitimately true.
Why?
What do you think? What do you think about that? Oh, what? It's like moving around. Oh, it's weird. Anyways, go.
But I guess it's almost a compliment too, right? So like, if someone calls you a snowflake, that you kind of also say like, wow, okay. They might be calling me that I'm a nice person, right? They might be calling me a nice person, and it can be like, it depends on your mentality, right? You can also take it as someone like throwing mean words your way.
Yeah. Like,
you wouldn't want to be called a snowflake either, right? If you think you're like a harsh person, like you want to be like a person that puts your foot down, right? It depends on the
context.
Yeah, it depends on the context.
So I would say this whole aspect of people being told that they're unique. Now it's like, oh, you're a freaking snowflake, and some people take offense to it.
Yeah.
But I came up with this reason. You live life, right? You're born, you live life, and you die. Okay? When you're born, there's so many other people that are also born. And we are currently standing at around 7 to 8 billion people in this world. And so it's hard to believe, oh, I'm unique. Because there's probably 56 to 100 other people exactly like me out there who have the same mindset, same motivation, same height, same weight, whatever, right? There's a possibility of that. But how many of these people are you going to actually meet within your lifetime? Are you going to find somebody who looks exactly like me within your lifetime? You probably meet us as individuals. I don't know what the actual number is, but I want to say a rough estimate of we meet maybe 100,000 people within our lifetime, right? Maybe not.
Depends if you travel and all that stuff.
Travel, the number could raise, but within your lifetime, you're not going to meet another individual like me. The same way that you're a very unique person, because I will never find anybody else like you within my lifetime, within the vicinity of who I hang out with.
Yeah.
So it's like, when you take that into consideration, who do you want to be in other people's eyes? And again, you don't have to care about what other people think, but you kind of also have to. It's like a balance between the two. Very contradicting. Do you want to be the person that's viewed as a drag, someone who's not, approachable? Or do you want to put in the extra effort to wake up every morning and know that, this could be the day that somebody deals with something very significant in their life, and you could be that one individual that like brightens that person's day? Because every single day people have such a wicked and dark view of the world.
Yeah.
And if you're that one person that comes up and does something irrelevant, you can definitely shift an entire mentality of a person. And so that's how you're unique. Simply because nobody else will meet someone exactly like you within their lifetime. So what type of impression are you going to leave?
Yeah. Like, see, that's why I'm nice to everybody that I see, right? Because I don't want to be seen as someone that's hostile and that everybody should ignore, because then that's also how you kind of fall into the loneliness aspect, right? Because no one really wants to talk to you or whatever. But then you don't want to be too nice, because then people take advantage of you.
It's contradicting, but you have to find the balance.
Yeah.
And when you start going through life, you start noticing more and more, everything's just a balance. Like the same way that you can go work out, you can work out too much and you can start getting a disease that literally eats away at your muscles.
Yeah.
You gotta find that balance. And I think as you get older, you start realizing that way more. Like you can be mean, you could be nice, but when you start finding that balance, it's like, right there, that's the spot.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's some good stuff.
Yeah, because then you wanna be able to put your foot down when you need to, and then you don't want to escalate things when you don't have to.
Oh yeah, of course.
Right.
And so when it comes to like this idea of self-defense, the whole point of self-defense is to not fight. You're not trying to fight and take that person down and unconsciously start beating them. No, you're there to get out of the situation. Do a move, do what you have to do, and then run away. Because there's no reason to escalate it. And so I see your point when it comes to there's no reason to escalate anything. Are you good? Are you hot?
No, I'm good.
I thought you were like wiping the sweat off your brow or something.
No.
It's getting a little hot in here though.
It's getting hot in here.
I think that aspect of being just nice to everybody until you're given a reason not to. Again, that balance thing. It's like it's hard because you know when people say you have to be physically, you have to be mentally, and you have to be emotionally strong. Yeah. I like to think that you have to add a fourth one.
What's the fourth one?
Social.
Yeah.
You have to be socially strong. It's hard. Don't get me wrong. I used to be in there too. I used to not be very social. But now I just don't shut up.
You're like that one person there where everybody's like, man, this kid won't shut up.
This kid won't shut up. just trying to leave.
I just want to go home and sleep. Holding them back.
Yeah. And that person I will go after. Because I don't want you to go home and sleep. I want you to get started on stuff that you want to get done.
Yeah, that's good, but sometimes people don't want that, and then they get hostile too. People
don't, yeah. And, and that's when I started picking and choosing who I want to continue talking to. Mm-hmm. That's why I'm pretty selective. I'm not super selective. I'll give you a chance. But if you come into my life recurring and we interact, I'm going to push you a little bit because I care. Yeah, I won't push it far enough to the point where our relationship starts deteriorating because losing a connection is something that's fairly painful.
Yeah, for sure. But you also have to know when to cut your losses with someone as well, right? So like, we keep going into the balance aspect of things, but
that's just what it is.
But yeah, sometimes
it is what it is.
It is what it is.
My own voice is cracking. It is what it is. I love that meme so much.
Every time I hear it is what it is, that's all I mean.
We gotta do it at the same time. Ready? It is what it is. Anyways,
that's horrible. We're gonna cringe when we see that.
Continue.
Because sometimes people won't take your advice, and then you just, if they go the wrong path, and you feel like it's your fault that they went the wrong path, gets to you too, right? Because you think, wow, like you kind of had a bit of like
influence there.
Yeah, in a way, but not really. Even though it's not your fault, you still think that. So.
And you're saying having to cut your losses, and sadly, it's true. I've seen it happen before, and it definitely took a toll on like the way that I viewed life, I guess. Because I'm not gonna get into too much details, but when you have someone who consistently who's kind of who's a burden, who's a straight up burden and just sucks the joy out of living, and it's hard to cut ties with an individual like that when they're so prominent and important to you. And you have to make the decision on your own when you want to start cutting ties. People can try holding your hand, they could try navigating you, they could try giving you a perspective, but it all comes down to you. You have to sit down and really speculate what's important to you. The thing that you're trying to focus on, or that person who's pretty much interfering with what's important to you. And see, I respect this person,
Mm-hmm.
and I loved him like a brother, and again, I don't want to get into too many details, but it's having to take responsibility for your own actions, because that's like the best way for you to feel genuine with what you believe in.
Yeah.
And so it's rough, like having to see something like that.
And also, like, it also hurts when they have the attitude of just not caring. Right? They just, like, you kind of see what's gonna happen, but they just don't see it. They don't really want to listen to you, and they just don't care. And that sucks too. That really sucks. And
they're kind of like a funnel. Like they drain you of what you're trying to do. And when you consistently hear that negativity, it's so difficult to focus on what you find important or what you know to be something that could benefit you.
Yeah, and sometimes all you can think about is them too. So now you're kind of distracted from what you're doing too.
Because you're trying to find a way to please that person. Like, maybe this is something I could do. And we see it reoccurring within our lifetime. And you have to definitely put your foot down and find different alternatives to deal with anything and everything.
Yeah.
And so there's just always a balance when it comes to maintaining relationships.
I would say life is a balance.
I think it's art. I think living life is like an art.
Yeah?
Like,
well, I don't know. Sometimes.
Yeah.
Right. Like, if you live a fast life, then I'd say that's, wow. Some people wish they can live like that. Right.
Fast, just like instant gratification.
I think your mic might fall, by the way.
Oh, it's okay. If it falls, it falls. No, just kidding.
If it falls, it falls.
If it is,
it is what it is.
Wrong way.
I should have never told you so I could hit you in the face.
Wow. You got a vendetta towards me? So, I freaking love screws.
Right.
There we go. But living life fast, instant gratification, posting it on Facebook, posting it on Instagram, making everybody else feel bad, wasting money. I wouldn't say waste money. Spending money on like the newest, coolest thing. Spending money on. A lot of people are gonna hate me for this. On Starbucks. Using. Oh God. Saying things like I don't care. I don't care about you. This is like a very prominent one. I don't give a. I don't go. I can't want to say it. I'm just gonna bleep it out. I don't know.
Yeah. But with what things? Like, what makes them say that? With what?
I'm not a psychologist, but I can definitely give my own opinion, which isn't based off of fact, but with my own experiences. It's definitely like a personality where it's instant gratification, not thinking about long term. Yeah. Not thinking about.
They're trying to impress the people within.
Trying to impress the people around you.
Yeah.
And I feel like.
But I feel like that's more of a insecurity, right?
Yeah. And sometimes it's not even an insecurity. Here's my reasoning. It truly is about an insecurity. Again, like the very fundamentals of it. But like there's obviously different perspectives on it too. For me, when I was 260 pounds, there was definitely an insecurity there. A big boy walking down the hallway. Big boy just walking, breathing heavy. And so I took that initiative to just lose weight. And because I had a lot of pain. When I was in middle school, I I played video games all of summer. And so when I got back to school and I went back to my normal physical routine of walking upstairs, walking downstairs, Roy Martin, right?
Yeah.
It took a toll on my knee. I had a fractured knee because of the amount of weight that was on my body and my legs.
Oh, I remember that. You were limping for like a long time, right?
I was limping. I had a fractured knee. Oh, I guess that's a medical thing. Anyways.
Wait. So, you didn't. Why did it take so long to get that fixed? By the way.
It didn't take long. It just they recommended to let it heal naturally.
Really?
And so that was like something that they suggested, because I don't know what the other alternatives were.
Yeah, because I remember you were limping for what felt like to me was like 2 months or a month, right?
Yeah.
It was a long time.
I didn't even use the elevator. They didn't deem it as anything serious. So you just see me limping up the stairs. I have that issue right now. I had a cramp on my quadricep. On my thigh.
What were you doing?
I was working out. No, I legitimately was working out. And so I was trying to do a squat. And I like doing the seated squat where you sit back and you push the thingy, the weight. Stop touching my toe. It's weird, man.
Hey, don't put your foot there then.
Wow. It's like the Indian and China border. It's like, oh, don't be there. Oh, if you don't, I'm going to shoot you. Oh.
What'd you do?
This thing is loose.
Oh, no. Wait, what did you do? Let me see.
No, it's not getting in there. I'm going to have to edit this part out.
Is it attached or no?
Yeah, it's attached.
But what?
On plastic.
Huh?
Yeah, we need to find better ways to do this.
Alright, let go up. Is it gonna stay?
Yeah.
What is?
Just tightening it up more. Okay.
Ooh, this is slipping off too.
Yeah, we need to find better alternative to this.
This jank works, right? Anyways, continue.
We should fix it up, and then whether I edit this out or not. Like maintenance issues.
Do.
We should have a little game playing. Oh, every time we have an issue, just like play a little game. The comments or something.
Oh yeah.
Just comment down below.
Just
first number that comes to your mind. Something
speed
dumb.
it up and put a song in the background. Like the.
If you can spot this image, comment, and we'll send you $2 or something. I'm gonna lose money.
We're gonna go bankrupt.
Everyone's gonna comment the same thing. And we're like, we're going to like severe debt. We're going to bankruptcy.
Someone's gonna be like, "All right, you owe us $2 million."
Oh my
nah,
God.
I'm just kidding. It's not like we have that many viewers anyway.
Not yet.
Not yet. I hope.
Well, we'll see how it goes. We'll be genuine. Anyways, so I was in middle school, fractured my knee, and I was a little fat boy. I was known as just a fat boy.
A little bit chunky.
A little chunky boy. Last one to get chosen for dodgeball, soccer, whatever it was. But that was fun. Definitely humbled me.
Mm-hmm.
That's for sure. But when it came to losing weight and just getting that confidence behind it, there was definitely some insecurities behind there. And so now it's I feel better off. I feel happier and healthier.
Mm.
And definitely came from wanting to change. And keeping that into comparison on like long term, I was thinking about it in the same way that, you know, we invest in the stock market. If you focus on your physical health now, it's like investing in your future medical bills. I've said this, right? And it's like, you know, would you rather pay, you know, bills for pills on diabetes, cholesterol, osteoporosis, what's some other ones? It's like old people diseases and conditions. Like my mom has a couple, and hearing her talk about having all these different issues and having to pay these certain medical bills because of this, and this. I hope that the way that I try to influence people on like losing weight and trying to stay healthy could definitely put into perspective how important it is, because I've met some people who they wish they had focused more on their health when they were younger.
Yeah.
And younger. What's up, Goral? Grew from Despicable Me. And just the idea of not having, stop touching my toes, man. Not having instant gratification all the time is okay too.
I mean, at least all I gotta say is those people are still young, right? So like they can still work on it. Mm-hmm. And if they're still young, you can still do it. I feel like go for it, right? Because I feel like you're gonna appreciate it much later in life, right? So then, let's say you're an elderly person, right? And then, but before that, you had lost 30, 50 pounds. Then you're gonna feel a lot better, because now you don't have to support as much weight, and even I think 20 pounds makes a difference on your body.
Yeah.
Like the weight.
Definitely, it's like you just feel. It's like when you're the fat kid in school, right? Or when you're just the fat person, like that's your identity, and I hated that growing up.
Yeah.
Oh, either.
Because it's like a mean just
like
name.
That's a part of you.
Yeah.
And so, but it's definitely caused me to like. It's definitely.
You know why it's coming off?
Because of the plastic.
Yeah, because of the. Damn, I like this thing too, though. You're gonna hold it?
No. What is it? You adapt. You adapt when you live. Either
put on a chair.
Either adapt or die.
Modern solutions require modern
problems
require
modern solutions. My solution is putting the mic handle on the chair. Forever. This is optimal use of the microphone.
Microphone.
Optimal use. Optimal. I was going the wrong way the whole time.
Bruh.
It's gonna take a while. So when you talk about gratification, do you think there's benefits to? What do you stand more on? Because I like the idea of standing for the long term, or try my best to.
Yeah.
Because I don't like spending money on like fast food. One, it messes up your health, and it makes you feel. I think my favorite quote from one of my wrestling teachers was, "If you eat like crap, you feel like crap," and that's stuck with me for a very long time.
Yeah. Because now you feel all bloated and you just feel guilty because you ate that food.
And not only that, it's your body just isn't getting that nutrients that it needs. I went the wrong way again. No, I'm just kidding. I am smart. I gotta keep it kind of far. Well, I really hope this works out, because if this doesn't work, I'm be sad. I spent a very long time on this. Howdy?
Yeah, can I get a burger?
Burger?
make sure it's facing you, the logo.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. Cool.
Kind of like a little out.
That's fine.
This is dumb. Yes. It's okay. Live and let die. Ooh. Oh, there we go. All right. Okay, we good?
Yeah, we should be fine now.
This is optimal. This is as so. I think I might edit this out, but I put the microphone in between where the chair's at because it kept coming off the table. So if we're back, we're back. Instant gratification. I hate it, or I feel very guilty when I do it. I don't feel guilty when I know I've worked hard enough, but it's very hard for me to feel satisfied.
So give me an example.
When it comes to ordering, no, not even ordering, because I don't really do fast food. Like, not that long ago, I had an idea where, man, I worked hard enough. I worked hard at my job. I got home. I did some research. I did this. I did that. I'm not gonna go to the gym today.
Mm.
I did not let that get to me. I ended up going to that gym. I had drinking an energy drink, because I had stayed up the previous night pretty late working on a couple things, and then I had some sushi that I had ordered from, like an Albertsons.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't like top quality. So I was feeling pretty nauseous, and I was like, "Oh, I'm not gonna go to the gym today. I feel nauseous," and to me that was just an excuse. I went to the gym, got what I gotta do, done, and then I felt amazing because I got through that. And that was the same day that I beat my squat record.
Oh, nice.
I felt nauseous and I beat my record. It's like at some point you have to stop making excuses and just start realizing maybe just starting or doing something to get the ball rolling is far more beneficial than doing it tomorrow. Doing it next week. Because once you start getting rid of the excuses, because how it works together is you get instantly gratified when you say, I'll do it next week. And that's an issue I had in high school. And if you start falling in love with the things that you hate doing, you'll definitely start, being better off. And so just getting this podcast set up, it was a hassle.
Yeah.
But we got it done.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah.
Go
Go ahead.
Because, I have my schedule, then you have your schedule now.
Mm-hmm.
Got things to do. You got things to do. It just kind of got to blend them together.
Mm-hmm.
But what were you going to say?
I'm going to the gym after this. I'm going to edit this by tonight. And I'm going to get this podcast
So you're going
Thursday.
to the gym tonight?
I'm going to the gym. I'll post it just to prove it.
Okay. I'm
going to post a picture, and it'll probably come out before I upload this. But if you see that picture, you'll know that I went to the gym. And if I didn't, then I'm a fraud. Dislike this video.
You're faking a frog.
You're faking a frog. You're training the freaking frogs game. What's his name?
Alex Jones.
That guy's funny. He's definitely he's just like a comedian. He's just a funny character. But what's important to you? How much are you willing to sacrifice?
Well,
and that's not giving into instant gratification. At that point, that's just called discipline.
Yep. Well, see, I'm really bad with things. I can't stick to one thing. Because I always end up getting distracted by something else, right? Recently, I just been going home and just kind of like relaxing, right? Because my sleep schedule has been horrible. I don't feel energized. I just don't feel energized for other things, and I need to get better sleep.
Yeah.
I need to get a set schedule for sleeping, right? Like, if I say I'm gonna go to bed like at 9 or 10, I'm gonna try to do my best to go to sleep at that exact hour. Because if I don't, I'll probably end up sleeping till like midnight.
Ooh.
Or 1 in the morning.
Yeah.
And that's bad because.
And what time do you usually go into work?
9.
No, 9.
Yeah. I like my sleep.
Yeah. Everybody likes their sleep.
Yeah. But I have to wake up like at 7:30.
You know who doesn't like their sleep?
You.
I freaking hate sleep.
It must be nice.
I freaking hate it.
Because you hate it and now you have energy. I don't. I'm the opposite.
What does it say?
I don't know. I think I stopped recording.
Oh my god.
Is your solution?
Oh my god. Anyways. Your face. So we're back. 5-minute intermission. Anyways. So you're saying like being energized and sleep. Your sleeping schedule sucks.
Oh yeah.
What do you eat?
I eat horrible stuff. Alright, I eat horrible stuff.
Yeah.
I eat a lot of fast food.
Yeah.
But only like, I can't say only because I eat it every day, but only once, right?
Yeah.
And I usually don't go overboard either. I just eat what makes me get through the day till I can get home. But it's still pretty bad, right? Because I like salads, right?
Yeah.
I'm too lazy to make them.
Yeah.
And that's also another thing I have to get into, right? I have to set a sleep schedule, and I also have to set a plan to make my meal preps so that I can have, and also save money because I spend so much money on just food, just fast food in general.
Yeah.
Because I like
food's great.
Well, yeah, but I also like being lazy, so like the convenience factor is not worth it though.
Maybe because I have the way that I view things is I think maybe you have to start with like small things. Me, every morning that I wake up, I fold my bed. And that usually gets my day started because I know I accomplished something. There's some dude named Jordan Peterson. And I listened to a couple of his perspectives on the way that us as young men should be treating life. And something that he refers to is just folding your bed in the morning. And the reason, and this isn't just for young men. His perspectives are like to everyone. Women, men, doesn't matter what ethnicity, what age, especially doesn't matter what age. You can start whenever. If you're 45 and watching this, if you're 30, if you're 20, like us, or about to be, there's something that you could take from it. Folding your bed in the morning is important simply because you get one task completed in the morning, and that's going to cause you to feel accomplished, which leads you to want to accomplish more.
Yeah. And then also it feels nice because then when you come back
home
or you just want to relax, it's already done.
No. You're not supposed to lay on the bed. You don't want to mess up. You don't want to mess it up.
Okay.
It does look nice.
Yes, but when you're about, let's say for example, when you're about to go to sleep, when you're gonna go to bed. Plus, it also makes your room look cleaner as well because, there's not that just eyesore of just bed sheets all over the place.
I think the best way to go at things is taking care of what's inside your house. Like, I was off over here. Taking care of what's inside your house, right? So if your house, go even smaller, your room. If you can take care of your room, if you could take care of where you sleep, your room, wherever you're at, if you could take care of that piece of what you own, then you could start taking on more responsibility. For me, it's always cleaning my room. And I try to keep my room as clean as I can so that when I get home, everything is efficient, clean, and organized. Because when you start taking care of what's at home, then you'll slowly, gradually start doing better outside. So if the relationships that you have with the people in your house is toxic or you have issues, there's better ways of dealing with them, because the way that you deal with your family at home is going to be the way that you deal with people outside. And that's something that I am definitely trying to work on. That's something that I'm trying to work on, simply because it's just more beneficial.
Yeah. And now that you mentioned that stuff too, I've also fallen off on cleaning my car. You know, I used to clean my car so it's clean like almost every week. Now it's just, I don't even do that anymore. I mean, it's not disgusting, right? But it's still like not what I like.
To where it could be.
Yeah. Like how it was before. But I don't even do anything about it anymore, right? I just see like something, and before I used to clean it up. Now I'm just kind of like, oh, just leave that for future me. I don't even do that anymore. I just leave it alone.
Damn. Future me has a lot. A lot going on.
Yeah.
That dude needs like, I hate past me.
Yeah.
That dude.
Wish we could fight each other.
Just fight past you. You can. Just look in the mirror.
But
if you look in the mirror, the light that reflects off the mirror takes longer to reach you. So that's like 0.00 nanoseconds of what you used to look like, because it takes a second for the light to reflect off. So just beat up a mirror.
Yeah, do that. You know, or I can just throw a fist at my face, but you know how my fist takes time to get to my face.
Yeah, there you go. So
yeah,
like the thought of it's already gone.
Yeah.
Because you're feeling pain. Anyways. It's just taking care of the small things first.
Yeah.
Because when you can start making small changes, it's going to start developing even more. It's like technology, right? You have that exponential growth. 1% every single day. It adds up to a lot over time. Things take time. Building a habit takes time. We're not perfect, but we can definitely try our best to get there.
Yeah. And you know what's satisfying too, though? Let's say, for example, my car, right? If I clean it, I'm going to feel accomplished and satisfied, because now not only have I done something productive, right? I've also made my space clean, and makes me, I guess, feel nice about it, right? Because now it's clean. And not also is it clean for myself, it's also clean for other people. And yeah, just accomplishments is a hell of a drug.
Compliments, yeah. There's dopamine rush. It's great.
Yeah.
When it comes to keeping, again, like just keeping the basics clean, you benefit a lot from it, because you feel great.
Yeah.
The thing that I like to use is literally just make an agenda of what you want to get done that day, because then you have a visual stimulant of what you want to get done that day. So I did a thing where I had, okay, talk to this person, do this thing, take care of this. And if you can visually see it, you've already beaten one of the most powerful foes that you have. The most powerful obstacle in your way, which is literally just getting started. So I recommend downloading an app called Monday. It's
not sponsors.
Definitely not sponsored. So Monday's pretty cool, because stop touching my toes. It's a simple interface that they have, like a platform that you literally type in what you want, and it's all colorful, and you can add little columns like, oh, this is the due date, this is the urgency, and it's a really good application that can also be downloaded onto your laptop.
Yeah.
And so that's pretty much what we're using to stay organized with these podcasts. It's the way that I'm staying organized in my life by getting things done, check marking them off, and feeling accomplished. It's just visual stimulation.
You don't even need the app. You can just put a whiteboard, like a calendar whiteboard on your wall, and just mark off the days where you need to do stuff, and just have it on the wall, and where you look every day, right? So that you can't be like, oh, I didn't see that because I put it in a bad spot. So like, I guess you can put it next to your door to go outside when you leave, so you can see it.
For me, that didn't work. As to why, I don't know. It didn't work for me having a little whiteboard or a calendar, because I hate writing. I hate calendars. But for me, Monday was different because it just had such it was a very comfortable platform for me. It helped me stay organized. Everything looked clean. My handwriting sucks.
Yeah, you don't have to tell me.
But that's just what works for me. Find something that works for you. The same way that somebody might go work out and some exercises might not work for them because it's either not fun or stimulating the muscle. There's different things out there.
Yeah.